we are finally getting a fairly substantial patch for Rogue Trader. And I gotta say, this is a long time coming. I'm glad it's here. I love their game, and I've loved all their past games as well. But the one thing that Owlcat is known for is having some bugs. And it takes them a while to get bugs fixed. But they have finally made a pretty big patch, and we're going to dive into it today. Worth noting is I love the game. I think it's an awesome game. I played, I don't even know how many hours, 60 plus hours. I was deep into Act 2. I hadn't even made it to Act 3 yet. And I eventually gave up on my playthrough because of just lots of performance issues and little jank things that were starting to stack up. I feel like Act 1 was really good. Most of Act 2 was fairly good. But as I got deeper into Act 2, I just started seeing things that were breaking down. And they were starting to get some performance issues for me on my older machine. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait for them to patch a few patches, and then we'll dive back in because it's an amazing game. I had a lot of fun with it, but it needs some quality of life features for sure. So they've got their first patch out. Not the first patch, but the first big patch. I feel it's the first big patch. February 19th, so today actually. It said, everybody, welcome to the 1.1.28 major update. There's a ton of stuff in here, folks. Right off the bat, though, this is a huge thing for me. Brand new full voiceover for the prologue and new companion chatter across the game. So that was the one thing I think even Carnage touched on this. Like as much fun as he had in the game, as much as he loved the game, it was sorely lacking in the voice acting department. A lot of people have mentioned this, so it's great to see that they've taken that feedback to heart. And at the very least, they've given us an entire prologue sequence that's voiced with additional companion chatter throughout. So just having the rest of the prologue fully voiced is going to be a pretty big deal for most people. New visual effects and icons, narrative tweaks, and new reactivity options. Fixes for broken quests and dialogues. These are the highlights, by the way, everybody, including the long anticipated Price of Humanity quest fix. Fixes for incorrect and inconsistent epilogues. A massive amount of fixes for incorrectly functioning abilities and items, including those that led to silly damage multiplication. Balance updates, including survivability and damage buffs to Space Marines, nerfs for officers, weapon balance and counterbalance, and changes to calculations of many stats. Bonuses and difficulty modifiers, resulting in an overall smoother game experience. Performance improvements and optimization, reputation threshold for vendors being lowered by about 20%, improvements for NPC AI, reducing the cases of friendly fire and unnecessary triggering of attacks for opportunity, co-op desync fixes, and possibility to hire mercenaries during multiplayer sessions. That's really cool because you can fill in the gaps with people you don't have. Quality of life UI improvements, including ability sorting, recommended skills, and visibility of quests and extractums on the map. Marzi and Juliet getting access to many previously human restricted items. And everything beyond this point, it says, let's highlight that and make sure everybody understands that moving forward, everything here on outwards is full of spoiler territory. So it says here massive plot spoilers in the descriptions below. So this dives into the actual core of everything here. And as you can see, this is a Larian Studios size patch. Like I feel like this is the biggest patch that Rogue Trader has put out that they have done for Rogue Trader. So kudos Owlcat. Bunch of system and stability stuff for crashes and soft locks, and then a whole bunch of stuff fixing lag and freezing of the game. This is going to be great for me because I was seeing stuff in late Act 2 and optimization. This is the big thing for me because that's what I was seeing. But again, I'm on older hardware, so I'm feeling it more than other people. So I can't say that my experience is everyone's experience. Load game menu now loads faster on consoles. Optimization improvements to the Iconoclast version of the Void Ship Bridge. Optimization to Yavagama, Footfall Slums, various other locations in Act 5, improved AI performance when targeting AoE cone targeting and grenade attacks, which should reduce the thinking time for the enemy. Optimization of Kavagama encounters, optimization of memory usage in various game menus, optimize UI memory use for low memory systems, various optimizations for Xbox to improve overall game stability, and various UI memory usage optimizations. Happy with this. All of this is good. Narrative. There is a ton of stuff here, and this was a big deal for a lot of people. So, on the narrative front, fix the inversion, internal struggles of Mars romance. Player now receives a major reward when choosing a heretical option for Foulstone. Just a log of major decisions, the character screen. There's a ton of stuff in here for people who are appreciating the narrative side of the game. So this is big. Act one fixes. This is look at how much narrative stuff is here. This was a lot of stuff that was just missing, and so a lot of people were just complaining about getting completely different sequences of events because of all these things that just weren't there. And as you can see in Act 1, they only fixed two things. Act 2, they fixed a few things more. Act 3 was about the same. Then Act 5, there's a lot of narrative stuff that they had to work on. And so I just kind of got to the point where I was in Act 2 and it was just kind of like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for them to start actually patching things because I trust them as a company. I've loved the Pathfinder games, but I also came along much later in the Pathfinder games life cycles. Other than Wrath of the Righteous, which I played at launch, which was, it had its bugs, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I still played it all the way through, even with that. But this one had some stuff that needed to be worked on. So I see some great progress being made. So once I find some spare time, I'll probably dive back in and pick up where I left off and see how it goes. Because it is a great game, and I was having a great time playing it. It was just getting to the point where I was having a hard time just playing because of all the jank and stuff. So um, lots of mechanics changes, a lot of item abilities that provided flat bonuses to damage of each shot from burst fire now provide percentage bonuses. So you guys can go through this at your leisure because there's a ton of information to go through here. Um, damage modifier from game difficulty is now applied as an additional modifier, which is cool. And then a whole bunch of other changes. Just look at all of these changes. Like, quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. This is pretty amazing. And these are items. And then we've got locations. It's no longer able to visit a couple of Act 4 systems in Act 2, facing nearly unbeatable challenges. Um, made adjustments to multiple locations for better passage of Space Marines. So that's going to be good. They fixed some cutscenes issues. That's great. I had a lot of cutscenes issues. I even lost progress on one of my early access playthroughs because of a cutscene bug that literally was just game breaking. Like I had to just stop and um, completely restart from scratch at like 25, 30 hours into the game. So I'm seeing some pretty fun stuff. But yeah, going down here into visuals, they've got a ton of visual fixes, ton of user interface stuff, which I think is really cool. Hiding the helmet and also hides glasses, adjustments to vendor screen, so on and so forth. Just so much stuff here. Okay, here we go. Sound and music. The prologue has received a full voiceover. Added voiceover for all companion banter in the game. Now, hang on. That sounds a little more intensive than it sounded like at the beginning of this when I was reading through it. It says added voiceover for all companion banter in the game. If that's the case, that's a really good step in the right direction because that means all of the companion stuff now is going to have voices. That's a good start. New sound notification when loading off the game is complete. Added new music for the first version of the Warp Chamber. A whole bunch of stuff in here. Bunch of space stuff fixed. Star system exploration, colony management, space battles, co-op in general, desyncs, localization, miscellaneous. So there's a ton of stuff here, everybody. I gotta say, shout out to Owlcat Games because this is very much, they're a fraction of the size of Larian, but this feels like a Larian Studios update, and it looks like it's going to be going a long way towards getting Rogue Trader on track for that definitive edition coming in the pipeline. I can't wait to sink my teeth back into this. It sounds pretty comprehensive. I might go ahead and patch up this week. I don't have a lot of time this week. Maybe this week, next week, I'll patch up and see about getting back in and just see what it plays like and see what it feels like, and I'll report back when that's done. In the meantime, everybody, Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch, usually around noon central, unless there's stuff happening and I have that's out of control, life stuff. Don't forget the Discord. You can get a latest copy of my fantasy novel down below. Paperback, hardback just went for sale a few weeks ago. And beyond that, yeah, the Patreon got revamped, so there's a new Patreon page up, so go check that out as well. See you next time, everybody.